Checking. I think we're here.
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna mute the YouTube channel. Oh, cool. Because that was the replay of us.
Yeah.
Welcome to the first Paparazzi live stream. My name's Cole Ohlers, and this is
Jaron Matheson.
Today's live stream is going to be sponsored by Truly Hard Seltzers, sporting the Tropical Punch and the Berry Punch. Anyway, we're going to wait to see if we get any more people online. So currently streaming from LinkedIn, Facebook, the Paparazzi Facebook page, my Facebook page, the Paparazzi LinkedIn, as well as the Paparazzi YouTube channel. We will be streaming on more platforms soon. Jaron, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm very excited for our first stream and to get into some stuff that why this app was created and kind of tell a little bit of the story too, and kind of go, how do you make money as a photographer in today's crazy world?
Yeah, which we've both made a lot of money as photographers, huh?
Yeah, tons, lots.
Tons.
You've definitely made a lot more than me.
Yeah, well, that's part of the journey. Again, that's like part of the fun thing here is that there's this misconception that to be a successful creative, that you just like naturally, if you're really good, that means you're going to be good and you're going to be well off and you're just going to get booked. But that's not really how it happens. And it's the same thing with business. Just because you have good business savvy skills or business experience doesn't mean that your business is going to be good. There's a lot of creative things that you need for your business to be successful, even if your business is not a creative type of business. So Jaron and I are not photographers, but we're business-minded people that enjoy the arts and enjoy the creative side of things. And so we decided to build Paparazzi.
Yeah, I think one of the funniest part of this getting built was you coming to me actually with this idea, and I told you it was a dumb idea.
Dumb idea.
Yeah.
I actually remember this very vividly because I had just gotten back from Dallas for like the third time, and I was shooting pool at Jimmy's Pool Hall in Columbia Heights, Minnesota, and I get done and I'm sitting in my car within the parking ramp, and I call Jaron and I'm like, dude, I came up with this idea and I can't stop thinking about it, called Pop-Up Paparazzi. Then I tell him about it and you say, great name, terrible idea.
Yeah, I was like, the name is amazing.
Yeah, Pop-Up Paparazzi, super catchy.
I thought of it like that's like McDonald's. How in the movie The Founder, the guy's like, the name's amazing. My last name sucks. And I was like, it's kind of like that. This name is great, but that idea sucks. No one's gonna want to do this.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, and then that continued. You continued to tell me my idea sucked for a long time.
I did.
So
I
how
think
did you get to here from being like the idea sucked?
So I think where the light bulb clicked on for me was one morning I woke up and I realized, I was like, oh, this is not necessarily for people that have a business already done. They have their SEO already done. They're professional photographers for 10, 20 years. They have a base of clients. And I thought that's who that's all photographers, right? And then I started to do some research and I realized there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that are good at taking pictures and you cannot find them. And if you do find them, it's very hard. Like I found a few people, but the people that pop up are the ones that already have their book of business and they charge thousands upon thousands of dollars. And I'm like, there has to be more. And so I research how many photographers are there in the world, and there's just millions. And I'm like, how do I find these people? Because their work has got to be just as good or better than a lot of these people that are popping up on Google. And when I search for photographers, that's when my light bulb went off. And I realized that this platform was to get out, or not, sorry, it was to reach the bases of people that don't know how to be found. That's when I were like, you were onto something.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you think that those photographers that we don't know how to find, there's millions of them out there. Do you think they want to be found?
I think they definitely want to be found. I mean, I'm sure there's a few that want to be hidden under a rock, and they don't really care to make money. It's their hobby. They have a great job. But I think 99% of people that are passionate about taking pictures would love to make money from their work that they do.
So describe what you think the difference is between those people than the people that have figured it out, that have the website, that have the SEO, that now charge thousands of dollars of shoot. Like, how did they transition, but these other people have not?
I think it's a couple reasons, but one, I think the major thing is a lot of people are not business people. They're really good at the art that they do, the craft that they do, but they don't know how to build a business. They don't, they're not going to take the time to go learn the SEO. They're not going to take the time to build the website and really push it and market themselves, knock on cold doors. Because there's a lot of photographers, they did it the hard way. They literally would go knock on businesses and book themselves the hard way. Where right now, most photographers, I feel like they post a thing on Facebook in a group chat and say, hey, this is my work, please book me. And I think there's just what we have on this platform is such a better way.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, obviously I'm a little biased, but yeah, I think the big thing, I mean, okay, when you talk about the groups on like Facebook, okay, or like the groups on social media, those are generally comprised of a bunch of photographers that are trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know if I have the best analogy. It's really funny. It's kind of like, imagine you're a single dude and you want to get a girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
And you have this giant party that you make, and all of a sudden you realize you invited 10 people and they're all guys and there's no girls and you're in a hot tub and there's just no girls. And so like, I feel like these groups are kind of like that. You're just with thousands of other photographers and you're not finding the girl, right? Like you're not finding who you're actually trying to go get. You're showcasing all your work. And now every now and then somebody will randomly show up to that party.
Yeah.
But really you want to get into an area where are all the people looking for photographers? Most of them, they're not in those groups. No. They're just your regular, Jack and Jill that own a small business or they have kids and they want to shoot. They don't even know these Facebook groups exist.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. I think we made an Instagram post or TikTok about it like a week ago, but it's great to have the community of photographers and artists and stuff. But those, one, are most of the time not the people that pay you and pay your bills. And then two, if they do pay you, they're not the ones they're not your big ticket items. Like kids, the people that know nothing about photography, that they don't go on Facebook groups, but when they need a photographer, because they so rarely do it, like they pay more.
Yeah.
Like that's why if you were getting a photo shoot like every day, then you're going to get a photographer for some big event you have. That's different than the people that have like never thrown an event and they're like, we need a photographer, and then you tell them it's going to cost you $1,200, and they're like, well, okay, that's the price. Like that I think I like got this when I went to an event last weekend where it was not a photographer event, it was not a creative event. Okay, it was like a gala dinner. Okay, and they paid way more than I could get just someone off of Facebook to pay me.
Yeah,
like way more. So,
yeah, I think the other aspect to that question too is you asked, why are these people that have been doing it for years got it and these other people don't? I think nowadays people want things so fast, where those people, they put the time in, right? They've been doing it for 10, 20 years, and they built their book of business up. They got their name out. We know multiple photographers locally here in Dallas who they have so much work they don't know what to do because they've been doing it for 20 years, right? And then there's the other people who've been doing it for 5, and they might have not had the we got it. Love the analogy by Tanner. I like that. He likes that.
Jaron is the best at analogies.
I do like doing analogies. But I think one of the things is most people, they just want to get booked, right? They want a platform that people will flow to, and they're never going to be on the top 5 in Google. 99.9% of these people. But what Paparazzi does is it allows you to get in a local directory when someone downloads the app, to be able to find you, that you're not competing with people that have put dollars behind being on the top for Google. And it kind of evens out the playing field.
Yeah. Okay. Like pure example here. So this is the directory. Okay. I know you can't see it, but like these photographers, they all charge drastically different amounts. Okay. And like, you don't know, okay, like this person on top could be the one that has the big www.theirphotographybusiness.com that like their Google search search item too. But then the person right below them could be someone who has 50 followers on Instagram, but is like so freaking talented, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
I think that really helps level that playing field out. But the other part of the app that's interesting too is to go out and do your hustle, right? There's a distribution platform. So there's the photo directory, which is the main part of Paparazzi to be found. And then, if you're waiting to get booked, on our platform or anywhere else that, people that or through contacts that you've been working, you can go out and spontaneously pop up and take people's pictures and use our platform for them to easily scan a QR code, get their information, set a price. And what we found out is some of our photographers on the platform already, they'll go out and do that, and then they get rehired because that person owns a business. And they said, oh, I have product that I would love for you to take. I love the pictures that I bought from you. And they get to directly message you back through Instagram or email or whatever kind of socials you've set up. So you're building your business using the second part of our platform.
Yeah. Okay. And that was the first idea for Paparazzi. That's how we got started, was that idea of going out to events, taking photos of strangers, and that becomes your business. I mean, that's better than doing a Facebook ad or doing an Instagram ad. You're going out there, you're getting better at your art. You're getting to meet and getting to interact with people that are so close to you, then they probably would have never found you, but then they love it. I mean, I remember okay, that's happened a few times where people are like, oh, like this is so great. Like I wanted to find a photographer, but I'm too busy doing this, or I've got this going on, like, can I hire you to do this? Case in point, we were just in Vegas for a trade show, where we were taking photos of like a souvenir show where these vendors had booths. They all had different products. Okay, and we met this lady from like Cape Cod or something that like she was so excited that she was going to get photos of her products that she was going to she thought we were like the only photographers out there, which is funny because we're the only worst photographers on Paparazzi. But like she thought she was the only one. She's like, can I mail you my inventory to Texas, from like Maine to Texas?
Yeah.
Can I mail you my inventory? You can just keep my inventory. Send me back the pictures because I want pictures so bad.
And, the crazy thing is she had signs, right? It was going to cost quite a bit of money to ship that here. But in her head, as she's thinking, it would be cheaper to send us these pictures because we kind of told her what we're doing and like kind of a rough cost idea. And she's like, oh, let me just send you everything I got to take pictures for all my products. And I was like, no, let us help you find a photographer close to you to come to your shop to take these pictures. But I think one of the things are a lot of photographers don't realize that there's so many people that want their pictures taken and that they're afraid to actually go talk to people and ask them. Now you're going to get a lot of no's, obviously, but like there's so many businesses that are like, they're waiting almost for people. What I've seen since we started this, and it's been just over a year, right?
Yeah, just over a year.
Just over a year now. There's more people that want their photography or they want pictures taken than the photographers that have wanted to join our platform so far to be found. There's more demand for people wanting pictures. And the photographers, I don't think they realize how many people want quality pictures and not just pictures off of someone's phone, especially when you're a business. And a lot of these people that go out, they're very wealthy. They want to pay for it. Yeah. And it boggles my mind when, we'll talk to some photographers and they don't want to join the platform, or they say they've tried other ones, and whether it's ours or someone else's, to realize, there's so many people out there that are looking for you and they don't know how to find you. They don't. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was the thing that we didn't expect at first. But it's like the most mind-boggling thing is there has like never been a time, I don't know if it has for you, but there's never been a time where I explain the purpose of being able to find photographers and do it that I explain it, that someone who's not a photographer doesn't get it, okay, or doesn't immediately see the value. Like they're like, oh, that's genius. Because then they think about it. Well, if I needed a photographer, how would I find one now? There's no way. Okay, if you need to find a coffee shop, like you can go on Google and you can search coffee.
Yeah, just go to Google Maps.
Yeah, you can go to Google Maps. Okay, if you need to find a restaurant, if you need to find a plumber, it doesn't work that way for photographers.
I just thought of something that's interesting, and I never thought of our app like this, but I don't go to Google to look for a coffee shop. I go to Google Maps, the app.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we are. We're like the Google Maps, but for photographers.
Yeah.
You just find the people and where they're located, wherever you're traveling.
Yeah.
We got another question here.
Product photography is so hard to find. Fiverr and Upwork are okay, but most photographers are international. This would be great to find local photographers for products. Exactly. Tanner, great point. Like there's different platforms out there. And first off, Paparazzi, we will be the first ones to say, like, we're not saying get rid of everything you've done before to join Paparazzi. One, we don't cost that much that you would have to give up anything that you're doing. We'd probably be the cheapest thing that you're implementing into your thing besides, well, no, we probably are like exactly the cheapest thing, because even if you have like an Instagram channel or a TikTok, that takes so much time to like go in and upload photos and then like monitor it and post consistently. Like here, you've already taken the photos, you upload a gallery, you link all of your socials and your contact, and then it goes by your geolocation. So if Tanner here wants a product photographer, now he can go in, he can search Dallas, or he can search Minneapolis, or he can search Los Angeles, and he can actually see the miles away that each photographer it is. It actually is like Google Maps. I didn't think about that
It's just
either.
like Google Maps.
It's like Google Maps, where then you have the option where you have all the contact, their website, their Facebook, their Instagram, their TikTok, their LinkedIn, their Vimeo, their YouTube. Then you see what types of work they do. You see examples of their work. They can have a store set up. Like this is how you do it. And this is like the cheapest thing.
It is. And like to your point, I think everybody should have all the other stuff they're doing.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to. Our thing doesn't replace all the other stuff. We're just an added value that we believe that in the years to come that we will be the number one photography search platform.
Yeah.
But even then, when you're on our platform, you need to be on the other ones because people are searching all over the place.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of being a business owner is you don't just have one form of marketing, right? You have multiple streams of how you bring people to you. So we're just another tool in your tool belt. And I think that what we're creating hasn't really been created yet for the two facets that we do.
Yeah.
So we're like the special tool in the tool belt. That's like the cheapest. But I would say you need all the other tools because they're good for their own reasons too. And it's funny because we ran into a few other photographers at events when we were at the Bitcoin conference specifically, and they were taking pictures in front of the new crypto bull. And the light bulb went off in my head of like, we're not an enemy to anybody. We're here to help people distribute pictures either through our platform or for them to find you afterward after the show. And they took us as a threat right away, but then they realized, and then they signed up on our platform because we're not a competitor. We're here to help the industry and not take away from what people are doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's happened. Like that's actually happened a few times where we've come across someone who like thinks we're trying to take their business or like thinks we're being a threat. I mean, there was, we won't say his name, but at this conference in Vegas that we were at, created a similar idea because the goal is like we see and everyone sees that photographers, freelance creatives, freelance like artists, they're the butt of every joke. For one, you're like, I got told it a lot, but like we genuinely don't see anyone as competition. Like we're not trying to take business away from anyone. I think that might be back to the point that we were talking about before, but about the difference between why some photographers become business people and become successful is like from a business standpoint, you can't just have one thing. Like you have to have multiple ways. You have to be talking about your business all the time. You have to be on every social media. If you're like a service business or something, you have to run ads. You have to like do all this stuff. Like you have to have all these different tools. We're not trying to take away the other tools that you have because we don't replace all of them, frankly. Like we've got some specific use cases that make Paparazzi valuable to your business. But like we even realize that this isn't going to be the one and only solution. That's why it's not thousands of dollars a year.
Yeah.
That's why it's not even hundreds of dollars a year.
I think that's a great point because I think a lot of people that build a platform similar to us or in the space to like try to promote photographers, they're going to say like, this is the place to be. And they're going to charge $300-400 a month. And I'm thinking of a specific one someone told us about.
Yeah.
And they got 0 people off of it. That's a lot of money for a new person coming on board to spend that kind of money to get booked, for something you don't even know if you're going to get booked for. And not, you shouldn't do that stuff, but like you do need to have multiple facets of marketing. And to your point, when you talked about, these people that have been on here for, a while, they don't need to spend that kind of money too on those ones if they don't want to, because a lot of these people already have local business that keep coming back. And now this is another point when they hire you and you build that reputation, imagine getting found 10 times on Paparazzi or any other platform. Let's say you get 10 people on our platform and 10 people on another, right? And then those people, they just contact you directly. So from the marketing standpoint, you got 10 clients, say 5 of those 10 that were on our platform, for the next 5 years hire you 2 or 3 times a year for their business or family shoots, like they would have never found you. And one thing that I like about our platform on the distribution side, where you go out and you can take pictures of random people and get them to scan a QR code, enter their information and upload the pictures, and you set the price, is you're building a database of people that know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And now sales is a numbers game, correct, Cole?
Yes.
So for people that like to hustle, if you went and took 1,000 pictures and they were very good and you sold, say half of those, 500 people out of the 1,000, be realistic. You're not going to sell all of them.
Yeah.
I think about 45 to 50% of what people sell is pretty realistic, what we've seen come in, depending on if you're at an event or if you're going to a park. But overall, it's about half.
Yeah.
Some people are they're a lot higher than that. But imagine out of those 500, you're going to get another 5-10% of that buy from you for things that you can't imagine. So if you want to build a business and get out of the rat race, even of having say a job for $17, $18 an hour, working at, a fast food joint or a Harley Davidson or a Walmart or wherever, you can go make enough money, go hustle, sell your pictures while you're building your client base. That I haven't seen done before. And I think that's what we bring to the table is if you want to, you can go make 6 figures a year doing this.
It's a super interesting point. Okay, if you break down the math, to make $20 an hour selling photos, you have to sell 4 $5 photos per hour. Like, sell 5 photos per hour. You could roam the streets and find strangers and do headshots in front of a building or take photos of family at a park. Okay, and then go take some photos at a business. Again, you can work for 5 hours a day and you can make a few $100s.
Well, every time we've gone out, we've taken photographers out, they've never not sold a picture.
Yeah.
Ever.
Never.
And we've gone out, one time we only went for an hour and somebody made like $150. Yeah. We've gone out for 2 hours though, and someone's only made $60, right? It varies based on the people, where you're at, the events you're going to, how people are feeling. So it is important to understand planning where you're going. Mm-hmm. But if you go to a tailgating event, if you go to a place where people are gathering to hang out and play games and do stuff, they're dressed up, people want nice photos. You're going to get 50% of the people that will say, no, thank you. And I think that turns a lot of people off. But if you think of it like this, would you rather work for that $17 or $18 an hour in a job you really hate, that you're really not making any money and you're not advancing your career? Or would you rather go get 4 or 5 no's and go make $200-300 a day, working 4 hours a day, and then maybe editing for another hour or two? So you work 5 hours and you make $200-300 while you're building your book of business potentially. That's what this provides. And there's people on our platform that are doing this, and they're creating their own self-efficient way to make a living.
Yeah. And that approach of going out, what you're doing is you're essentially, when you enroll someone in a shoot, they might not buy the photos, but what you just did was essentially you gave them a digital business card plus value. So even if they don't buy the photos, they got a link where they now have got all of your contact information, all of your socials. Then 2 months down the road, when some random event comes up in their life that they're like, hey, we need a photographer. And they're like, we don't know any photographers. How do we find one? Oh, what about that photographer that randomly approaches at that event? Can they go on? They've got your contact info.
Yeah. They have your email that you sent them with the link and everything.
Yeah. They've now been able to track you down. So even if you didn't get a sale, it's like passing out a business card. People make jokes now, even in 2022, that business cards are useless. Well, I would argue they were always useless, but it's called an at-bat. People have business cards and they give them, can they know damn well that you're probably going to throw it away? Okay. Or you might not call them, but it's a shot that you might keep it. And one day you're going to think about it and you're going to find it in that junk drawer in your kitchen, or you're going to find it crumpled up in your wallet. And you're going to be like, oh, that was the guy, right? This is like a business card. You give them out. You're not going to get everyone. But the times you do get one, that makes up for hundreds of people that did not respond.
Yeah. It's that digital footprint that you get to collect and they get to collect. And the thing that I want to go back to one more time is the photo directory, though. Like that is the main part of our platform, is to get searched. So you're not really going out and doing what we just talked about for the last 15 minutes. But the photo directory is so important because what you touched earlier on, Cole, is it's based on where you live for the miles when you pull the app up. So you get to see where people are at. So like, say for instance, you're going to go to Florida and you're going to propose. And this is a real situation that we're going to talk about, is somebody went somewhere and they needed to find a photographer and they couldn't find one forever. And we talked to this person at a trade show and told them, and they fell in love with our app because they're like, where was this 2 years ago? It took me forever to find somebody because everyone wanted like $1,000 to $2,000. And he's like, I only wanted to take a shoot for like 30 minutes. That's all I wanted. And he eventually, guess what he did? Eventually, he was in Instagram just searching forever for like photographers in Florida, wherever he was at. And eventually he found someone and then he DM'd them and got them. Well, you know what's funny? If he had Paparazzi back then, he could have looked at all the photographers and then gone on their Instagram and DM'd them, because we don't take that interaction. We let the photographer and the client that wants to book you work it out for themselves. We're just helping you get found. And he said he would have saved hours upon hours because he was looking to pay someone, I think he said like $200, right?
Yeah.
He's like $200, half an hour, just come out. I'm not going to spend $1,000 to $2,000. And he was so impressed by this kid. I think he was 18 or 19. He said he was just as good or better than anyone that he knew he would have hired for $1,000 or $2,000. And he was so excited about our app because he realized too, how we realized that it's a free market system, right? You get to choose what you want to charge for your clients. And if you're really good and you don't have the overhead, you can play with the big boys now. Now, some people aren't going to like our app, and that's okay. Like a lot of the professional photographers, they might come on and they might not. What's going to happen probably is they're going to want to be on it though, because a lot of people are going to start searching for photographers and they're going to get missed, but they're going to charge themselves out. And so that's what's great, is if you're needing to make money, you get to decide yourself, I need to make some cash this week. I usually charge $500. I'm going to charge $350 and see if I can get it.
Yeah.
It's all up to you what you want to do.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing too, and like something that I really believe in business, and why some of these other find a photographer platforms, I don't think they've always got the best interest of the artist, is because there's other types that like naturally, like you'll have to filter by like the price. So it'll ask you the amount that you want to pay a photographer. If I'm a freelancer and I do like, man, like I've been doing this a while, I don't want to do a shoot for under $400. Well, man, like I could have nothing going on. Can someone 5 miles away searches that they'll pay $350? I don't even get notified. I don't get the opportunity to turn down that job. Like I would rather get a ton of emails or a ton of DMs saying, hey, I want you to take our photos. This is how much I'll pay. And if it's too low, I can deny it. But I want visibility into everyone that's trying to find a photographer in my area. There's no way to do that now.
Yeah, that's a great point. You need to have it where the person selling their service gets to choose if they want to accept it or not.
Yeah.
Because on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis, what people need to make or want to make will change. Some people are like, nope, I'm good. If it's under $400, I don't want to do it. That's great. You can ignore all those.
Yeah, just ignore them.
Yeah. This helps the client and the photographer come to an agreement on a different way than's usually out there for the dollar amount. And the thing that's fun that I like is, as this goes, there will be people that'll hire someone that charges less, But years go on, they're going to be able to charge more because they build their client base up, and the people will stick with them because they like them, and they'll be able to charge more money, and they won't switch because people are loyal.
Yeah.
They like people that they trust and have done business with in the past, and you'll be able to build relationships up. And even if you up your prices later, they might go, and if they get too high, they'll go find someone else. But a lot of people like to stay with the same person. I know, like when I'm doing business, I understand that cost goes up in different things. And as people get better, you want to pay people for what they're worth.
Well, and it's scary too. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a business or like an individual. It's like scary if you find someone you like that like did a shoot and it was a really good shoot, and you're like, I want another shoot. Okay, and they raise their price $50 or $100 or whatever. Like you'd be like, man, I could find someone else for probably the same price of the first one, but I don't know, is their customer service going to be good? Are their photos going to be as good? Is it going to get to me as fast? Is it going to, they're going to be as nice or as reliable? You know, are they going to be a weirdo? You know, I don't know. Like you already know. And so I think people will, like, that's another reason why people are loyal to people that they've hired in the past, and they will pay you more because you've been better and you've proven yourself. Like, plus they already trust you. You've earned the trust.
Yeah. So what do you think about someone wanting to join the platform that's in a city that we don't have many photographers on? What do you think about that?
Well, you know, that's a tough part of like being a startup, and it's a tough part of being in the spot that we're in right now. Cause naturally, if we don't have a lot of photographers, one, you have the best opportunity, I guess, to get booked. But also, I mean, we recognize the fact that you know, there's not going to be as much traffic there, you know? And so we drive the most traffic to the places that we have the most photographers, or places that we have an appropriate amount of photographers in, you know? But this is also like, this is your business. Okay. Like, I don't want photographers to think that they're a photographer for Pop-Up Paparazzi now. Like you are still your business. This is a tool. Like you're the cabinet builder. You don't need to advertise that we're the screwdriver that you use to build it, you know?
Yeah, no, that's a great.
So if you go out again, you're at a diner or you're at the bar or you're at a park, you don't have your camera on, and you meet a stranger and they're like, what do you do? And like, I'm a photographer. Like, oh, great. Like, you know, you can see, like, you can always find me. Like, take out your phone right now, download Pop-Up Paparazzi, because they can just be on their phone, just like Yelp, just like Google Maps. They don't need to create an account. It doesn't cost them anything. Like, get them to download the app and be like, well, if you ever need a photographer, you can find me on here. Like, you know, I live here. You can find me on here. Then they can also connect with you. So if you're in a place where there's not a lot of photographers, or we haven't really like grown there yet, you know, spread the word. Like spread the word to everyone, you know. Post on Facebook instead of saying, you know, like, hey, I'm a photographer, send me a Facebook DM or something. You can be like, hey, find me on Pop-Up Paparazzi. We take 0% cut for a shoot booked through the app because it doesn't even go through the app. We connect you with them. But if they know that this is the tool, the resource that they can use to find you, instead of going on Instagram or Facebook, this is a place that when they're trying to pay for a photographer, this is where they go, and you tell them, find me on Pop-Up Paparazzi. Like, you can get a lot of people to download. I mean, I don't think there's a day that I go somewhere and tell them about my business that they don't download the app and be like, well, if I ever need a photographer, I'll use it.
Yeah, I got something to add to that too, because I think a handful of photographers might go, well, why would I tell them to download Pop-Up Paparazzi when I'm going to get this person's business right now? And what I would say to that is you ever wonder why when there's a car dealership, there's always like 7 or 8 or 10 of them all next to each other? You ever wonder why they do that, Cole?
Why, Jaron?
Do you know the answer to that? I'm just curious because you've been in the car sales industry.
Yeah, someone who sold cars. I mean, I can take a guess, but I don't know.
Well, let's hear your guess. What's your guess?
My guess is because sometimes you sit in a Ford, can you realize a Ford's not what you want?
Yeah. And you know that all those people that put those businesses up together, they understand they're their competition, but when you're in a giant area, you're drawing everybody to the same place. And so people that don't want a Ford go to Toyota, but the people that go to Toyota might want a Ford. And so they are working against each other and together at the same time.
Yeah.
And so that's why I would recommend like having people download Pop-Up Paparazzi and other photographers, because when this is going to be the place to be, is it's about the community and it's about helping people. And so if you think that you don't want to send other photographers there because they'll take away your business, just think of how these huge multi-billion-dollar companies, they put their buildings right next to the other buildings specifically because it draws the traffic in. Because the more traffic there's there, the more people that might find you, right? That's what it's about. And so you are having people obviously on the platform, but you want that because that means it'll bring more people in and it brings that competitiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah. Well, do you got anything else? Do we have any questions in the comments on any of the platforms, or Jaron, you got anything else?
I think one last thing is I do remember when we first started this that you were crying in my car. And then you were crying in your car a few times, and it's been a little rough to get started, huh?
Yeah, I just watched that video actually. We're gonna post it soon. Well, we're gonna post the one of me crying in my car because I don't remember the one of. Well, I remember crying in your car, but I don't remember.
I got it on my phone.
Yeah,
it's not a big cry, it's just a little bit. But.
Yeah, okay. It's actually today's October 12th. The first line of code was started on October 16th. So not even a year ago.
Oh, wow.
Okay, at this time last year, the only thing about Pop-Up Paparazzi that existed was Jaron and I.
Yeah, and basically pieces of paper and emails and
Jaron
ideas.
And Jerry and I. The three of us. Yeah. We'll talk more about Jerry later.
Yeah.
Jerry, if you're watching, we love you. Yeah.
But I think that's all I got for now. We'll just bring up that crying video later in the future for people to see.
We'll bring up all the videos of Cole crying, and we will share those in one video where Cole is smiling, and then we reference the struggles of entrepreneurship and the struggles of building this thing that we really believe in, that is going to change the industry and really going to change the lives of a lot of artists. So, feel free, if you're just logging on now, we're gonna do another live stream like this, talking about the same stuff, starting at 7 p.m. We're gonna be doing this every Wednesday. We're not gonna do 2 times every Wednesday. We're kind of feeling out what time works best. So if you have a time suggestion, leave it in the comments. But we're gonna go Wednesday nights, find a time where we've got this weekly Q&A, talking about the business, talking about updates, like answering your questions. So thanks for everyone that's joined us so far. And if you're just seeing this now, you can join a live stream at 7 p.m. Central. We're going to start this up again.
Awesome.